Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and today I'm going to go through Wichita, Kansas, Cowtown. They call it the old Cowtown Museum, but it is so much more than a museum. It's got many, many large buildings outdoors. They've recreated these buildings, put them here, and made it look like a real old Western town. I've had a look through already. It's really impressive, so let me show you around. This is the Orientation Center. There's the first buildings. It tells you about early historic buildings. Some were built on site, it says. Wow. Primitive homes. This is about when the newspaper came to Wichita. The DeVore Farm, supporting buildings, and more information about Wichita. I really think you're going to like this, so let me show you around. So the first thing you see when you go in is some teepees and this log cabin, and they've got some really good signage here. Here's an early version of a travel trailer RV. It's a nice camp setup. The main attraction is this long row of buildings on both sides of this dirt road, as like a city from the old days, including the first Presbyterian Church. And it's open, you can go in it. Nothing exciting, just looks like a normal church. This is called the Hodge House. Let me show you inside. Kind of surprising, they have electric lighting in here. Here's the bedroom, sewing machine, and the back door opens up to a whole nother street of buildings. There's a lot of them here. And behind the Hodge House is a much fancier house. 2-story, and look at this bicycle. Little wheel on the back and big one on front. Inside is the dining room, and this looks like maybe they would call it an entertainment room. Smaller, but 2-story house next to it. There's an old gas street light. And here is Smith and Keating Implement Company. Are you old enough to remember when homes had swings on their porches? That's one of those little railroad carts. And this railroad ends very abruptly right here next to the implement company. I think these two proprietors have a lot of work to do inside here. That railroad car is a cattle car. Here's where the cattle come from the corral up this ramp into there. You don't see many of these livery stables anymore. And this one has a veterinarian surgeon. And this looks like a stagecoach they have in the livery stable. And I didn't know in the old days they had fire extinguishers and hand sanitizers. How about that? Let's take a look inside the depot. Look at that old crate. I guess this is the ticket window, waiting bench seats, and there's the schedule. Well, it turns out that this is a very short railroad. That's as far as it goes. Into the woods. Guess what's in the scale house? They've got 5 scales, but they're all pretty small. There's one there, and one there. I wonder what they would be weighing. They also have a big scale for weighing wagons, like it said there. There's a wagon getting weighed. That building is a doctor's office. Next to that is the saloon. That's convenient. A hotel. And this must be a social hall. Their public outhouse looks like it has been modernized a bit. Even has a drinking fountain. Here is the meat market. I like their prices. Steaks, 10 cents. Is that 10 cents a pound? Excellent deal. And they don't come any fresher than this. Nice. I guess that's for the horses. Some of the locals have shown up. Maybe they're with the sheriff's office. What are you doing? There's the blacksmith. Let's see what's in here. A lot of blacksmith equipment. I wonder how well these shock absorbers help those wheels smooth things out.
You don't have work, you donkey. Yeah?
No, I mean, we're at least 2. Okay? Could have had one.
Ah, darn those darn cowboys every time they come through here, it's the same thing. Oh, Farmer Brown's not going to be happy about this.
What are you doing in town? You're supposed to be out working on the farm.
Not the bad news, Farmer. It's those cowboys again.
What'd they do this time?
Now they brought the cattle through and they cut your fence wire.
They cut the wire again?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the marshal involved?
No, I came in town to see if I can find him.
Well, go see if he's in his office in there.
All right.
I don't care how much money they bring into this town. They're ruining my farm.
I think they ought to spend a week in jail.
Yeah, and then make them pay for my wire. That's all you ever say is calm down. You never do anything. Hey, Marshal.
Yeah.
A drink?
Yeah.
Drinking with the cowboys.
We're
gonna be at that card game tonight?
Yep. We're going to be at the card game. And the deputy's coming with me. And we're going to take all your money.
Besides, Mr. Farmer, you got no proof it was my herd, and I don't owe you anything. Yes, you do, boy. You.
Get out of here, boy. What's that shit you do whipping like your mama never did? Come on, get out of here. Get.
Cattlemen's Association.
Yeah?
A lot of good that's going to do me. Sure, they're going to pay me for my seed and my labor, but not the crop that would have brought in. It's you townspeople that make all the money off these cowboys, and you leave us poor farmers out here to put up with all the mischief.
I don't know who's doing the shooting. We do have a gun orders in this town. I might have to take you to jail when we get this all figured out here.
What? You ain't gonna pin this on me.
Hey, hold on. We don't need this.
What are you gonna do to stop us? We're gonna help.
Here, let me check your vitals here, see if you're still living. I don't hear anything. Here, stick this in that wound, rub it in there, it'll be good for you.
It'll heal you, don't worry.
You better go have another drink.
It's an Indian poster. Get out of here.
Let's go have a drink, Mark.
Yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
This is inside the saloon. They must not be checking IDs today. That must be one of their entertainers. I think that would be an exciting show on the stage here back in those days. Piano man. And this lady. It's an interesting costume. They're serving drinks and snacks. And here's their lunch menu. Clean rooms are 50 cents a day. I wonder how much the dirty rooms are. Room and board, $1 a day. Now that's a deal. Unless you get oysters. Well, I gotta tell you, they sure know how to set a table.
Just a small room, like a hotel room.
Well, this seems to be a funeral parlor. Yep. And in here, caskets. Looks like there's nobody in them though. Have a look at this one for a small child. This must be the guest of honor. Let's see what's back here. Oh, it's a hearse. Gill, I guess, is the funeral home name. I wonder how that glass held up with these rickety wheels. There's a newspaper and printing office, dry goods and clothing store, attorneys, and barbershop. Real estate office, drugstore, and across the street is Millery, dressmaking shop, art gallery, harness and saddlery shop. Something else you don't see very often. Nice restorations. This is inside the drugstore. And everything is locked up. I wonder what kind of drugs this is. Rye and whiskey. It's the kind of drugs I like. Brandy. This bottle of pain pills should last you for a while. Is like about a gallon. Now here's something I've never heard of before. Life pills. I wonder what that does for you. There's an ad for a baby jumper. You want to check out upstairs? Well, he must be a good doctor if he's got all these books. That proves it right there. That must be the oldest dental chair I've ever seen. And there's his tools. Well, if you still need to complete your farm, then you gotta get you one of these. Boy, that looks mean. Here's where you sit. And what is this building next to that? Well, it's an outhouse, but I don't think this is going to work very well. I wonder if they sold their chickens, or are these still them? There's the white one. Let's see what's in the music store. Got a big piano, a couple organs. This looks like a guitar violin making shop. All sorts of old instruments on display here. Here's a couple houses that look like they were made out of these railroad ties. Kind of looks like to me. Well, folks, this is nice. All these many buildings, and they are reasonably restored, but still retaining the old look to them. They've done a really good job here. I think you'd definitely like to spend an afternoon here. Good day, folks.